All right, we're going. Hey everyone, this is Lindy Buff. I never showed my face before, I don't think, but this is what I look like. Face reveal. With me, I have Bratt Pack, one of the, I would say, foremost Devils fans on Twitter. Uh, Maybe not just on Twitter, maybe in the Devils sphere. But you really love Jesper Bratt.
Yeah,
Yeah, is
absolutely.
that fair to say?
Yeah, I'll be honest. When I started the account, I think I don't know that I expected to have to like be such a big Jesper Bratt fan, but now with kind of the optics of it, yeah, I'm the biggest Jesper Bratt fan in the world.
Yeah, I mean, you have close to 25,000 followers? I mean,
Yeah,
that's just for shit posting about Jesper Brett.
yeah, way too many. I don't
I
know what
mean,
to
is
do with it.
that I shouldn't say just for because I enjoy them. I love them. But I mean, did you ever think when you started that account that it was going to be that big?
No, not at all. It really wasn't even meant to be. I started the account because I saw so I had my personal Twitter, and
Yeah.
I noticed that my friends and family and stuff posts were barely even showing up anymore because I was following all hockey reporters and hockey teams and stuff. So I
Yeah.
was every time I would click on a Devils post, even when they would just post the score after a game or something, you look in the comments and it's just Nico Heishier appreciator, or at the time it was Pavel Zaka fan or whatever.
Oh my
It's all
God,
all
Pavel Zacha
burners
fan.
in
Okay.
the comments, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Let me make one of those stupid little themed burners, just so I can put all my hockey reporters, all my hockey teams, all this stuff on one account, so that my personal can go back to being my family and my friends and stuff. Um, so I did that, and I settled on Jesper Bratt. He is my favorite player, and I do
Yeah.
love Jesper Bratt. But I kind of settled him on as kind of my theme, because every burner seemed to be themed after a player. So I just went for it, and you know kind of tried to join the Devils fan community, and just, I don't know, started posting some jokes, and people seemed to like it, and it kind of just went from there. Was not the goal, to gain any sort of
Mm.
recognition for it or anything like that. I just wanted a place to get news, and that's why, since day one, since I made that account years ago now, I haven't changed my bio at all. It literally says just made this burner account so that my wife would stop getting mad at me for talking about
That's
hockey on my
very
personal
funny.
account.
That's
So
really funny.
yeah, that was really it.
But it's gone past like social media, right? It's you have like
Yeah.
outings and stuff like that where I mean you did one I think I don't know a couple months ago, maybe last season where you got to take a picture with your friends or fans or whatever you want to call them on the ice.
Yeah, so we actually have done that every I've we've been doing the outings for 3 years, so I've done 4 outings. I did 2 the first year, and then, 1 since. They're so much fun. We get, 100, 200, however many people come out each time, and we've so I will admit it's not necessarily something that I get special or anything like that. It is kind of just something that the Devils offer when you have a big group.
Seems like
Oh, did I lose you for a second there?
I think you did. Yeah.
No problem.
You,
How are your
yeah,
editing
just
skills?
well, they better be good. I'll say that. So I yeah, like 3 to 4 outings is crazy. Do you actually work with the Devils? You like
Yeah.
contact
So
people there and stuff?
yeah, I don't know what part of that got cut off, but some of the stuff that seems kind of cool and special to me really isn't. Any big group that buys tickets with the Devils can go
Yeah.
take a picture on the ice, stuff like that. Um, so I'm not gonna lie. Do we get the best pictures because we have so many people? Absolutely yes. But any big group can go do that stuff. So I
Yeah.
do work with them in the sense that I have a guy that I go through my ticket rep, that coordinates everything. And do we get maybe a few extra perks because we've been such good loyal customers? Yeah, sometimes a little bit. Um, but for the most part, yeah, I just go through my kind of point of contact, which is my ticket rep, and he
Yeah.
kind of works everything out. The guy that actually started all of it as my ticket rep. His last year was last year, so he wasn't with me this year. Logan, I always shout out Logan. He was like the heart and soul behind all the outings. I couldn't have done it without him, so I always make sure to name drop my buddy Logan. He was the one that really made the outings happen. Facilitating it, getting us set up with like ticket sales, and he's the one that got Jesper Bratt out on the ice with us the first time.
Oh,
So
so do you? I mean, so you've met Jesper Bratt. Do you think that
yeah.
any players or management know about the Bratt Pack account and Jesper Bratt is the best player in the NHL?
I've heard from a couple different people that have direct contact that they are aware of it. I don't
That's
know that
insane.
I don't know that everyone in the organization is a fan of it. I will say that.
Wow. I mean, yeah. Okay, sure, I could see that, but still, I
Yeah.
mean, that's crazy. That's
Well, and
actually insane.
I mean, from what I know, from what I've been told, some people are very much a fan of it. I've had,
How could you not be? Especially with the
yeah.
profile picture you have? Hilarious.
Well, so I actually, if you follow Nate Bastian on Instagram, he has an almost identical profile picture. So he made his profile picture like years ago, and the same artist who did his was on Twitter and basically was like, "Hey, I made this one that Nate Bastian put as his profile picture. Does anyone else want one? Like, if any other player?" And I, replied and was like, "Can you make one of Jesper Bratt?" And I made it my profile picture.
Wow.
Um, and that artist has since left Twitter. I tried to, go find her to credit her and, um, you know, promote her,
I don't
and
blame her.
she, yeah,
I
she
don't
she
blame her for
deleted her
leaving.
Twitter account since then. So I can't even like name drop. Um, but yeah, if you look at Nate Bastian's Instagram picture and my Twitter picture, they're the same thing. Just one has a 63 and one has a 14 on it.
That's so crazy. I just always thought that was the Brad Pack picture. I had no clue there were other even players. Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So that's Nate
Um,
Bastian's thing.
I think the one time I ever took a picture on the ice, I got to do it one time. It was I played hockey in New Jersey. You're from New Jersey, right? I mean, what
Yeah,
else would you be?
yeah.
Yeah, I played hockey in New Jersey for the Rhinos. Shout out my defunct organization.
Nice.
But they got us tickets in like section 24, I want to say. Pretty
It
good.
goes up to
Like
22. So
22. Whatever's on the opposite side of 119.
oh, 124. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
120. Okay, there we go. Yeah,
Upstairs.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, we got to take a picture on the ice. It was very cool. We got on the jumbotron one time. Um, I really wanted to ask you about the Four Nations, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
So you're a red-blooded American. Yeehaw. Am I right? I mean,
What's funny about that is really only when it's international sports competitions. I
yeah.
wouldn't say that otherwise, but when USA hockey comes around, yes, I am absolutely.
I mean, you got to be. You
Yeah.
got to be. And I don't know about you, but I expected the Four Nations tournament when I heard about it. I was like intrigued, but I wasn't like, you know, let's go, boys. Like
Right.
USA all the way. I was like, oh, there's gonna be Canada, America, in the finals, and that's it. But
Yeah.
when I started watching it, I was like, I felt
Absolutely.
something.
No, I
Rewatching
mean,
Miracle,
I'm sorry.
rewatching Miracle on Ice
Yeah, dude, that
before the
that
game.
speech must have got millions of views in the last like 3
Yeah,
weeks.
I mean, it's a great speech.
Yeah. I mean, and I felt the same way where because the standard going into this, right, was All-Star Weekend. And All-Star Weekend is such a joke and they don't take it seriously and they don't
Yeah,
try, and that's kind
and
of
last year was really bad.
and last year was literally like rock
Like
bottom for that. I
Kucherov,
mean,
just like
right.
that was
Right,
something
just
else.
absolutely half-assing it. Yeah. So when they announced it, I was like, okay, whatever. This is gonna suck, just like All-Star games suck.
Yeah,
Um, and then literally like 10 seconds into the first game, what was it? USA Finland was like the first game that, or well, I think Canada Sweden went first, but USA's
yeah,
first game
yeah.
was Finland. I like 10 seconds into the game, I was like, no, this is awesome. This is so sick. They're treating it like a full like Olympic game. Like I'm all in. And so for the rest of the tournament, I was like, yep, I'm locked in. I love this. This is the best.
And I think, I mean, one part that's like, I mean, all sports, especially sports in the United States, are kind of like sensationalized. So, I mean, a big part of it is making money and
Right.
having people want to watch things. But I think one of the great things about the players in the Four Nations is that it seems like genuinely, especially at the end, they all bought in hard. Like
Oh yeah, they were literally
they
saying it was
loved
more
it.
important than like Stanley Cup games for some of them.
Yeah, I mean, they were playing through injury. Like they were doing stuff that you only do in the Stanley Cup like playoffs, and that to me was insane. Um,
The unfortunate part is management is going to use that now to say they shouldn't be doing it anymore because they're getting injured for their teams.
yeah, yeah, I
Not
I
saying I
know,
agree with it,
but
but that's the angle they're going to
yeah,
take.
no, I'm with you. I'm with you. But I'm hoping they make it a regular thing. I mean, maybe not every year because I would agree that that might be too much. But I think they're
Yeah,
doing spacing it out. They're like doing Four Nations World Cup of Hockey All Star Game and then something else.
Olympics.
Olympic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, the Olympics.
Yeah, I think
That
I
makes
think
cool.
Four Nations is going to be every other year because, like you said, the cycle. I think it's going to be those four things, like
Yeah,
kind of every 4 years.
are they doing away with the All Star Game entirely?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to be every other year.
I would hope. I honestly enjoyed it a lot more. Um, what did you think of the tournament as a whole, like as a
Uh,
product, not as as like a series of games, but as a NHL branded product?
I think they are absolutely capitalizing the best they can off it, especially like having Matthew Kachuk go on late night and the Kelsey's podcast and stuff. I think they've taken this huge marketing opportunity they had and run with it. I think as a product, it was really good. I think the games were awesome. I can't think of anything else I would have preferred. I mean, maybe they had some more like music artists doing like shows and stuff and whatever to make it feel even bigger. But like,
Yeah,
I think it was awesome. I think they did a great job with it, especially being the first one. I really have no complaints about it, and I think that they're, doing their best to capitalize on its success because I don't think they saw it being quite as big as it was or is. I know they wanted to make a lot at the gate. They were hoping tickets would sell for a decent amount and at least make those whatever like 5-6 games worth doing on ticket sales alone. But in terms of like people buying jerseys and these like media appearances and just kind of that added like growing the game factor that we all talk about, I I think they like absolutely hit a home run. I don't think they could have asked for more.
yeah, I totally agree. I mean, Matthew Kachuk going on Fallon after he was injured. Then you have, I think, the USA Canada finals game being the most watched nationally televised hockey event in the past, what, like half a decade, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. And dude, I had people coming up to me at work being like, people that don't watch hockey whatsoever, just being like, "Oh yeah, like me and some buddies are gonna go out and watch this game because like everyone's gonna
Yeah,
be watching."
that
It
was
felt like a hockey
crazy.
Super Bowl, honestly.
It really did. That was the first time I've seen people that were just out and about talking about hockey, like planning to
Right?
do something for hockey. Basically, what you're saying that like blew me away. I work in an office; they had it on the TV. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
it's just it's crazy to me. But Devils fans were kind of they were bugging out on Twitter because they
always.
were saying, well, yeah, of course they are, but they were saying that Jack Hughes was non-existent in the tournament.
Yeah. Listen, did he have the best tournament where he showed the world that he's this world class superstar that scored every goal? No. Okay. Like, I'm not saying he was incredible. I understand that he didn't have quote unquote like the best tournament he could have. But this idea that he was invisible, horrible, like all this stuff, like and this is so classically social media, Twitter specifically, where it has to
Yeah,
be one or the other, where either he's like the best player in the world or he's completely invisible. Like players aren't allowed to like just be good, okay, fine, like in the middle anymore. I think he had a good tournament. I think, he set up a lot of other chances that other players didn't finish on. And if, maybe Austin Matthews hits a shot or two, we're having a completely different conversation about Jack Hughes' assist numbers. Um,
he only hits shots when he's playing against us.
I know, I don't get it,
Like
but
it's like
because
that was just something else. I
he
can't
hits
even
all
talk
of them
about that,
against
man.
us.
Yeah, really.
So, hockey is such a, if they don't score, a goal or get an assist, then everyone thinks that they just didn't do anything all game. And so I think it's somewhere in the middle where, would I have liked to see a couple goals? Sure. I think anyone would. But this idea that he was invisible or, busted or shouldn't be on the team next time they have international play, that's insane. It's just insane. He's one
Yeah.
of the best players on the team, one of the best players in the world. He was fine. He had an in the middle tournament, and I don't think social media really has any room for in the middle.
And then he comes back 2 days after, puts two in the back of the net against
Right.
the Stars. So
Like,
it's like,
he reminded us who he is.
yeah, yeah. I mean, is he washed? Maybe. Is Jesper Bratt the best player in the NHL? We don't know.
Some are saying,
Some are saying that. So Devil season. There's actually a game tonight, but I think it's a little later on against the Avalanche.
yeah,
Playing,
9:30.
yeah, Blackwood starting in goal. Um, don't know. Really don't know what to expect.
Oh,
Maybe it was the
you
well,
know what to expect.
yeah. But how do you feel about the season? I
It's
mean,
been an interesting one. There's been ups and downs. Seems like lately there's been more downs than ups. Honestly,
unfortunately,
yeah, I think, and this is gonna sound kind of defeating, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little burnt out on this season because I feel like in the past we've had these clear cut issues, right? Our goaltending was awful, just awful. So it was this like, well, the team's playing well, we just need a goaltender. So we had
yeah.
this like clear cut issue that we were all really frustrated over. And
And
then
then
and
we get the
then you
goaltender.
get the goaltender. People complained about defense. Defense is the problem. It's not the goalies, it's the defense. So they, bulk up the defense. Defense has actually been pretty good. Um,
And
so
another thing about Jack Hughes, what I will say, total defensive
right,
shift from last
right,
season. He's been
right.
playing so well in that area.
Been great defensively. Been killing penalties. I mean, Jesper Bratt, I think too, has been, throw him on the PK when you need him. Been better defensively. Um, and then so we look at this team and they're just losing games. And in the past, I feel like there's just been this like, we need to fix this. We need this guy. Even we needed a scoring winger. Timo Meyer was available. We spent like 2 months being like, bring us Meyer. We want Meyer. I feel like right now, with the market the way it is, with no like big names that we're really hunting, with our issues not as clearly defined, we're kind of in this like weird purgatory where it's just kind of burning me out, that it's just like we're just losing games and it's not fun to watch. I don't like it. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what to fix. I'm not passionate about, a certain fix that I think will turn the team around or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start on what's going wrong with this team. So it's like it's like borderline like depressing me that it's just like I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what I want. Like, please just stop losing. you know?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Really. I mean, we've been on the carousel of like this is what's wrong. No, this is what's wrong. No, this
Yeah.
so long. It's just like
What happens when you address
whatever.
all those and we still lose?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's vibes. Do we need to bring back Damon Severson?
I would never say no to that. I love Damon Severson.
Maybe
He,
Miles Wood?
maybe I don't know about
Oh,
that
oh,
one.
that's where we draw the line? Is that where we draw the line?
That's the line I got to draw. No,
Okay, okay.
I actually was a really big fan of Damon Severson in his time here. I think he was very unfairly treated. Also, just a stupid little fun fact that doesn't matter to hockey at all, but his wife used to come hang out at American Whiskey before the games with us. She loved the fans. She would hang out and have a few drinks before
Wow.
going into the game with us. She was, yeah, total people person. It was great, getting to meet her a few times. Um, so had a soft spot for him because they
Yeah.
loved being here. I know that. I know, like, even she would post on her Instagram story every now and then that I would see, like, someone posted on Twitter being like, I think it was like at the trade deadline, it was like her out to dinner, like celebrating, and it was like, when he didn't get traded this year, like,
That's really funny.
it was. So I really like David Severson, but we do I to get back to what you said, we do need a vibe shift. There is something going on, and we're not in the locker room. We'll never know what that is, but
Not yet. Not yet.
they don't seem to have that like excitement or swag or whatever you want to call it that they had earlier this season. Like, I remember some reporters earlier in the season, posting after games like, "Oh, locker room is bumping. This is the song they're playing after winning tonight."
Yeah.
Like we're not
Yeah, I
getting
remember
those
that
now.
too.
Like I'm not seeing those. You know
No.
what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe they need PK Subban in the room again. He used to play the music.
Absolutely. He needs to be back. I don't care. I'm so sad he retired. He
I
needs
know
to like
he's got to get
I
off
don't know.
Twitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got to get off Twitter. Oh my god, yeah. But back off Twitter, back on the ice.
Yes.
That's what I think.
At least in the
Yeah,
locker
and
room.
then
Get him,
at
get
least in the
him,
locker room.
get him like
Exactly.
some
Yeah.
sort of like advisory, like consulting role. Just put him in the locker room. Take away his phone. Let him give him a like one of those like parental lock iPhones with just
Yeah.
Spotify on it, and
Yeah.
that's it.
3 buttons.
Yeah. Just give him Spotify. Toss him in the locker room.
Call mom. Call 911, and
Yeah,
then whatever the
yeah.
hell it does the.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, I would. I'm not there yet on the burnt out thing. I mean, I'm pretty close, but last season was a different beast. Like I vividly remember, like I think the turning point for me, this was when we were not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, I think, but we had a 1.8% chance
love
that
that.
I was clinging on to, and we were on a West Coast trip playing the Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
I was just sitting in my bed watching this game, being like, we might be the worst team
Yeah, I
to
remember that.
ever touch the eye. Like this
I remember
is
that.
this is terrible, and I kind of get like I'm grateful. I'm because we are in a good spot. We're 11th in the league,
Yeah, I
third
mean,
in the Metro.
yes, I am
With
talking this way
like
while we're in a playoff spot. I get it. I
yeah,
understand that.
exactly, and like a good playoff spot too, not just a wild card.
Right.
But people in the East are catching up. Blue
Oh, we're
Jackets
we're
6 points
coasting off
behind with a
early
game in
season.
it. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, we got to pick it up at least until Markstrom gets back. But
Yeah.
vibes, man. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Can we send you into the locker room? Is
Dude,
that one in?
I can put together a Spotify playlist if that's what we need.
Yeah,
I'll just I don't know walk around like showing everyone memes. I don't like
yeah,
try
absolutely.
to
I think that's
get to some laughs in the locker room. You know who
absolutely.
the first player that I found out like was a fan, we'll say, of the Bratt Pack account was
Yeah.
Mackenzie Blackwood. I heard
No way,
Yeah,
really?
I heard from
That's awesome.
someone, close that uh would like pull up memes and stuff and like, I guess whoever was like sitting within the locker room would like be showing his photo around. So maybe we need that. Maybe we need to get Mackenzie Blackwood back.
Dude, he's been good for the Avalanche. Like I won't lie, he's been better than yeah, yeah, why not? Get him back. Bring all the players back. Why not? Why not?
Just bring the whole 22-23 team back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get
Um
get
Final
the vibe
question
shot.
for you.
Yeah.
What are we thinking Stanley Cup favorites, runners up?
Oh man. Um
I know we're pretty far out. We're like, maybe
yeah,
20 something games, 24, 25.
right. The problem is some of the like best teams, and when I say that, I'm kind of just thinking of the Washington Capitals, don't make any sense. They are, so far and away ahead of us and, in the first. And it's like, but do I really think they're gonna like go to the cup? Or like, do I think they are as good as their record is? Like, not really, no. So I have like such a hard time with that right now because I feel like there's at least a couple teams like them that are either like, you know, I just don't believe their record, or there's a couple teams that maybe haven't been playing as well that, I think if you asked me before the season started, I would have been like, oh yeah, no, absolutely cup contender. Um, so I'm really not sure right now. I'm going to take a look right now as we're speaking at the standings here.
Another crazy thing is like Washington Capitals. I don't know who's going to watch this, but if you don't remember, snuck into the playoffs extremely late because there was a very, very contested
Yes.
East
Yes.
and were swept by the Rangers.
They got
And this
put
team
on a
with
leash and
minimal
taken for a
changes.
walk.
Oh, yeah. And this team that has had minimal changes in the offseason it's like Ovechkin just decided to turn it on.
Ovechkin's been great.
Like I mean, I don't even know what to make of him this season.
Maybe it's just Logan Thompson. But and then we look at teams like the Jets, where they are 41, 14, and 3, which is just insane in hockey. That is
Seven
unreal.
shutouts,
Unreal.
7 shutouts with Hellebuck
And do I
alone.
think they're like that good? No, not really. I mean, yes, they're good. Don't get me wrong, but are they as good as their record says right now? No, no way. So, I mean, Hellebuck is carrying, and that's what a goalie can do. They've won 10 in a row, but I have such a hard time being like, oh yeah, they're a lock. They're going to win the cup. I just don't feel it.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams like that. You look at the Rangers too. I mean, they're not doing as bad as they were in the earlier season, but like Shesterkin injuries, like infighting on the team,
Right,
trades, President's Trophy winners last season, 62 points in 58 games.
right,
So
right. And you look at, Pacific Division, like Golden Knights are in first. Do I think the Golden Knights, are going to go in another cup? No, absolutely not. I think they're getting old. I think they're getting banged up. I just don't see, the same, I don't know, X factor from them. So I think it's going to be a really weird playoffs here. I don't know which teams are going to end up in the finals, but I will say I do think it's going to be someone that we're not expecting. I think it's going to be a really weird playoffs. It's going to be kind of a clunky matchup, I'll say. I
dark
don't,
horse pick, if Devils somehow don't make it or they do and there's an extra spot, Columbus Blue Jackets would love to see him in the playoffs, especially after Johnny and Matthew.
if there were
Would
ever a
be
year, man,
great.
this is it.
Yeah, if there were ever a year, this is the year. Absolutely.
And
Um,
I mean, even like the Red Wings and Senators are in like decent playoff position.
there's just so much. I mean, Bruins, Rangers, Senators, Blue Jackets, Red Wings. There is 4 points between those 5 teams.
Literally anything can happen there.
Like it's insane.
Yeah,
Um, I would go the Jets though. I agree with what you said, but
yeah,
I can't. The Jets are just like Hellebuck standing on his head. He's just tired of losing.
yeah. I guess the only kind of concern would be don't get hot too early. They're on their
Yeah,
big winning streak right now. Who if they come back down to earth in the next 15 games or so, they got 10 left to the playoffs and got to get hot again.
yep,
So we'll
yeah.
see. It's gonna be an interesting one, that's for sure.
Actually, no. What I should have said is obviously it's going to be the Devils.
Yes, it is going to be the Devils.
It's going to be the Devils. We know that. I've read the script.
Right, but if it's not the Devils, then I have no idea.
Yeah, then it's not. Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking with me. Do you have anything you
Absolutely.
want to plug or
Not really. The only thing I ever plug is Jesper Bratt is the best player in the NHL.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me on, man.
Yeah, no problem. You have a wonderful night.
You too, man. I'll see you.